Dorm of Darkness, the college that time forgot. Chapter 1. The Welcome Worry. As I stepped into the musty foyer of my new dormitory, a chill ran down my spine despite the sweltering heat of an early autumn evening. Tower Hall had stood for over a century, its Gothic architecture a relic of a bygone era when students were considered gentlemen and scholars. But as much as it exuded history, it seemed to hold secrets within its stone walls. My roommate, Emily, led me up the creaky staircase and into our room that overlooked the sprawling campus below. She was busy unpacking while I settled my own bags onto the worn wooden floorboards. The air inside felt heavy with an unsettling silence, and the pungent aroma of decay clung to everything. "Hey, take a look at this," Emily called out from behind me as she held up a faded photograph. A group of students stood proudly in front of Tower Hall during its heyday. "Check out that creepy old guy in the back row. Looks like he's following them." Her eyes sparkled with excitement. I couldn't help but share her enthusiasm for this new chapter of our lives together at Ravenhurst College. "This is Mr. Thaddeus," she whispered, "the building's founder. Rumor has it, his ghost haunts these halls." Just as we finished decorating the space, our resident advisor, Sarah Taylor, stopped by to introduce herself and distribute a set of keys. Tower Hall was not her primary concern. She seemed distant during the orientation. I brushed it off as first-day jitters. "Welcome. Remember, please be respectful of your living space," she said hastily before moving on to the next room. Later, after settling in, I noticed an odd smell wafting from next door, something akin to decaying flowers mixed with something metallic. It was probably just a neglected drain or a forgotten trash can. I didn't want to bother Emily. Her first day of classes was already over, and she had settled into the room hours ago. Darkness engulfed the dorm as the sun dipped behind the trees outside, casting long shadows across the floorboards. In the night's stillness, I heard the unmistakable creaks and groans that Tower Hall made famous, a symphony of settling woodwork and forgotten sighs. My head was on the pillow when an unsettling knock interrupted the hush. "You okay?" Emily asked, her voice muffled as she peered into my room through a narrow window connecting ours. I nodded off to sleep shortly after. The following morning dawned with a thick fog that obscured campus views from our windows. We spent most of it getting lost in the labyrinthine corridors and attending orientation sessions. Upon returning, I found a note on my door, a crumpled piece of paper with a single word: "Welcome." The writing seemed to be old-fashioned cursive. Sarah had left a similar message on Emily's door too. While unremarkable on its own, this dual gesture piqued my curiosity. In the evening, while studying, I sensed movement from next door, a shuffling of feet, or so it sounded. Peering through our shared window, I spotted Sarah entering her room with an elderly gentleman. Mr. Thaddeus in a sepia-toned photograph come to life. A gust swept through, extinguishing my suspicion as he vanished into thin air. My roommates' faces were etched with exhaustion. Maybe the fog had played tricks on us all. Emily turned off the light, and we drifted off. Days passed, but that peculiar scent lingered, always drawing near from Sarah's side of the wall. I mentioned it during breakfast, hoping to be reassured by her logic. "Creepy," she said with a dismissive wave. It was an oddity, nothing more. Yet each day, the fragrance grew stronger and heavier, like someone had left the coffin open in there. One evening, as Emily slept, I decided to knock on Sarah's door to clear any misunderstandings. "Hey," she looked up from her laptop, startled by my unannounced visit. "Smell that." I gestured vaguely toward the smell. Her expression hardened before softening into a polite smile. It's just an old pipe issue. The explanation didn't wash away my unease entirely. If you're worried, talk to facilities. I wanted to believe her, but couldn't shake it off. At night, as I drifted toward sleep, an ear-splitting scream pierced the stillness. A blood-curdling cry that made me sit bolt upright in bed. "Sarah, did you hear that?" No response. A hesitant knock followed before she entered, hair disheveled and eyes wide. I didn't dream it, did I? That sound. It was just a nightmare, I assured her. The room fell silent. Only the creaks of Tower Hall broke the stillness, once more as if watching us from the shadows. My gaze landed on Mr. Thaddeus's image, his eyes following us with an unsettling intensity. Sarah retreated to her bed and shut off her light. I closed my own book, unable to focus when strange whispers echoed through the walls, whispers that sent a shiver down my spine. There was again the unmistakable odor, stronger than ever before. I stared at Sarah's door, the faint smell pouring from within. "Sarah." No answer. "Sarah, are you okay?" With caution, I turned the handle and entered to find her bed made, clothes scattered about, as if she'd left in a rush. A chill brushed my neck, turning my head towards the closet. My heart pulsed in my ears when shadows shifted within, then coalesced into a form. Sarah, hunched over, face twisted by unseen terrors. "Sarah," I whispered, drawing closer. She straightened, eyes wide and pupils dilated like dark wells. "It was just a dream," she said too quickly, grabbing her backpack hastily as if fleeing something. In the hallway, the smell dissipated, leaving a haunting sense of disquiet in its wake. Weeks blurred into classes and new friendships, but whispers persisted along with inexplicable events. Books falling from shelves on their own, icy drafts amid sweltering days, and an unspoken feeling that we were being watched. Chapter 2. The whispers grow louder. Chapter 2. The Haunting Unveiled. Chapter 3. The haunting becomes personal. It was too late.